Welcome to the Canary Cast, the official podcast of the Mr. Canary Company. Before we get started, do me a quick favor. Comment, like, and subscribe so you never miss a new episode. That really does help new people find us. This is episode 13, and we're calling it Made in America, Why We Bother. Memorial Day is right around the corner, and it felt like the right moment to have an honest conversation about something we feel pretty strongly about here at Mr. Canary. Why we make our bird feeders right here in the United States, and what that actually means. Let's get into it. Memorial Day is the day all Americans dedicate to remembering the ultimate sacrifices made by the brave men and women who have died in service to this nation over the past 250 years. When I think about the ultimate sacrifice they made, it begs the question of, what am I sacrificing? How am I serving my nation? I think it's a question we all need to ask ourselves. When I answer that question for myself, it is much, much humbler than what can be said for our departed war heroes. But I think sharing my answer still has value in showing how we all need to show up for our country in ways both big and small. At Mr. Canary, when we say Made in America, we aren't just slapping a flag on the packaging in hopes of winning a few more customers. No, when we do it, it's a deliberate, costly choice that we make every time we order raw materials. It's mostly true that it is cheaper to buy from overseas suppliers. So why don't we? Because Mr. Canary has never been about making as much money as possible by squeezing every last penny from a product. No, from the start, Mr. Canary has been about something bigger. Since 1995, we've been about doing business the right way in order to create jobs for American workers with disabilities. Therefore, it would be self-defeating in a real way to source our parts and raw materials in a way that took jobs away from other Americans who earn a living by working with their hands. At Mr. Canary, our mission is the manufacturing. Here in Lebanon, Indiana, where Mr. Canary is made, manufacturing runs deep in our roots. As Hoosiers, manufacturing is a large key part of our economy, and it's hard to find a Hoosier family that doesn't have someone who earns their living by making things. So in our mission to help Americans with intellectual and developmental disabilities feel a greater sense of belonging in their communities, it's essential that Hoosiers with IDD have the opportunity to contribute to the economy through manufacturing, just like many of their family and friends do. There's an old saying, be the change you want to see in the world. For Mr. Canary, we can't really expect others to support American manufacturing for people with disabilities if we ourselves don't support American manufacturing as a whole. So unlike our foreign-made competitors, we choose to pay the higher labor costs. We choose to operate under the rules of American regulations, even though we could grow our margins by sourcing our raw materials from overseas. But we don't. We have a tagline at Mr. Canary, buy a feeder, create a job. That's not just a throwaway marketing line. That's how we operate our business. If you hear nothing else I say in this episode, hear this. Mr. Canary makes bird feeders for the good of people. Of course, that includes our incredible employees who are American workers with intellectual and developmental disabilities. They're the ones who assemble and package our beloved bird feeders. But it also covers our incredible customers who get the benefit of the simple daily ritual of unplugging from technology and reconnecting with the nature in their backyard by spending time enjoying their bird feeder. But in an often underappreciated and unsung way, Mr. Canary also plays a role in an entire network of American parts and raw materials suppliers who manufacture the component parts that we transform into bird feeders. The truth is, we all affect one another. In many ways, that's what a nation is. People who live their lives together, joined together by common values, and a shared desire to see each other succeed. We work together, bringing our own unique talent to the table to build something better that uplifts everyone. We aren't asking people to buy American out of blind patriotism. Although, if you can't muster some patriotism on Memorial Day, when can you? But we are asking American consumers to be conscious about what their purchases do and vote accordingly with their dollars. Values that you aren't willing to pay for aren't really values in the end. When you buy a Mr. Canary bird feeder, you are voting in support of American manufacturing in more ways than one. This isn't meant to be a guilt trip, but it is meant as a tangible invitation to support American manufacturing in the bird feeding aisle and beyond. Sure, that will mean sacrificing by paying a bit more, but we all ought to be inspired by Memorial Day to do our part to look for how we can all sacrifice in support of this great nation of ours. This Memorial Day, we're grateful for everyone who has made the ultimate sacrifice to make this country what it is. Our most sincere gratitude and appreciation extend to the loved ones left behind by our heroes who have fallen. And we're grateful for every one of you who makes our little bird feeder company able to contribute to the American manufacturing process, even in a small way, possible by you continuing to choose Mr. Canary. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. And remember, buy a feeder, create a job. See you next time, and happy Memorial Day.